Okay, so Athletic Bilbao are a club with a rich history and a simple tradition, only using players from their local Basque region. They once won the top flight of Spain back in 1984 and actually won the top flight 8 times, but since then have not won the title. And today I'm looking to take them back to not only Spanish glory but European glory and make Atletico Bilbao the best club in the world using youth-only, Basque-only players. This is going to be an absolute challenge, but one that I cannot wait to do. And we are playing on an updated database where they have just finished in the top 4 in Spain, which is a fantastic season when you quite literally think the whole squad is made up of players not only from one nation, they are all Basque only. That is a small region in a little bit of Spain, a little bit of France, and their squad is made up of only them players, which is insane. The likes of Nico Williams, Unai Simon, Iñaki Williams, the two brothers, of course, Oyon Sanchez, Danny Vivian, Alvaro Giallo, Julian Arrizabalaga, Aitor Paredes, and a bunch more are all Basque-only players that play here at Athletic Bilbao. And today, we're going to be using this 4-2-2 system to see if we can make Athletic Bilbao the most exciting team to watch, the team that scores the most goals, the best team in Spain, and eventually European winners. So if you do like the sound of this challenge, make sure you're liking the video and subscribing to the channel as well, because about 80% of you right now are not subscribed. So do me a massive favor and subscribe to the channel. Now, I am going to do something straight away in this rebuild, which is unprecedented. Nico Williams is gone. I am selling him in this first season. Now, the reason for that actually is because when I started making this video, which was a long time ago, it was basically guaranteed he was joining Barcelona. That's not happened. He signed a new contract with a €100 million release clause. And to be honest, I think it's kind of just delaying the inevitable. I think in a year or two's time, he does end up going to Barcelona. But it's a way for him to stay a bit as a club hero and then go to Barca and raise more money in the future. So I can see why he's done it. I can see why they've done it. But eventually, I think Nico Williams goes. So I'm going to kick it off in this rebuild with him going and us having to instantly concentrate on bringing in a new superstar striker. Now, I've done this challenge before, way back at the start of 2024. And I really struggled, and I wasn't even doing just youth only. For that challenge in particular, I was able to come to the transfer market and sign players which were from the Basque region, so the likes of Espanyol, who produce a lot of Basque-only players, etc. Yeah, we were allowed to go and sign them. This time we're not. I am keeping it to only players that have come through the Bilbao Youth Academy. So this under-19s, the Bilbao B team and Bilbao C team are going to be used a hell of a lot. Now, I've moved up a couple of youngsters they've got at the club into the first team. Igor Oyono looks to be the striker that potentially replaces Nico Williams. To be fair, Nico Williams doesn't really suit the system too much anyway, so we should be okay there. Mikel Juran-Giza is a defensive midfielder with great consistency. Unai Vensendor potentially going to come back in after his loan. We've got Benyat Garcia here as a young central midfielder, and Eneko Eliacuria as well as also a young midfielder. I'm going to apologise straight away for the pronunciation. I'm aware it's probably absolutely horrendous, but you're going to have to live with it, sadly. But what we're going to do in this rebuild in particular is I'm just going to go forward every single season. We're going to go through all the youth players that come through, the best youth academy talent we get, and eventually win the Liga and the Champions League. Now, I know that sounds like an impossible challenge, and to be honest, it really is a tough one because I've got no say in how, you know, the players come through the academy. We've already got a fantastic youth facilities, fantastic youth recruitment, fantastic training facilities. I'm just relying on the game to give me superstars. And they've got to come in quite quick as well because some of the better players here at Bilbao are kind of at the end of their career. Vesega, Yuri and DeMarcos, all above 30 years of age. Inigo Luque and Inigo Ruiz de Garrata, also over 30. And of course, we're losing our best player in Nico Williams. So there's going to be a very difficult challenge on our hands of, number one, not getting sacked because we've got to keep up doing what we're doing. Number two, getting rid of Nico Williams and not completely falling off. And number three, praying to the Bilbao gods that the Basque region produces some simply unbelievable talent. Get your comments in down below how long you think this is going to take. My guess is between 10 and 15 seasons. Get your comments in down below the exact guess you think we're going to win the Liga and the Champions League. Without further ado, Let's get into it. There is simply no better time than to sign up right now on MFL, and I'm going to tell you why. Division 7 is starting as we speak. The rollover has happened into Division 7, so you can now buy players and get contracts for your new players in your club. And there is currently a promotion where when you buy a Flint club, you get yourself a free pack along with that as well, containing 2 players. And if it couldn't be any better, use the code on screen right now. You get a free player from using my code once you spend $25, which is getting that Flint Club Pack promo you will have spent. And you get a free player for doing so as well. And it helps support me and it helps support the channel. MFL is about to go into a brand new era as well. So as you watch this video, probably already it's in the new era. The game probably looks very different and there is photorealism coming to players as well, which is super exciting. So make sure you guys are checking out MFL. Link in the description. Trust me, it is the most addicting online management game I've ever played. And I'm not just saying that, I genuinely mean it. It is incredibly fun. Massive shout out to MFL. Get yourself involved in the link down below and get yourself that Flint Club pack with the free promo. There is simply no better time. Now, the first order of business is to confirm Nico Williams' departure to Newcastle, where he moved for £47.5 million and only scored 4 goals in 28 games over there. So Nico Williams was going to be one of our star strikers in this system. He's only got 12 finishing and 13 composure, so I don't think we're missing out that much, other than the fact that he would still probably be our best player, wouldn't he? But Nico Williams is gone, and it's time to see how the journey went without him. Now, first up, of course, we were in the Champions League for this first season, and we finished down in 17th place, which isn't all that bad. 4 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses. And straight away, we are going into the knockout playoff round of the Champions League. What I will say is I think the challenge gets progressively harder as we go through the rebuild. As obviously right now, Bilbao, I think, have kind of a golden generation going on with the likes of the Williams brothers, the Cam, Sanche, Vincent Dor, potentially defenders, Danny Vivian in goal. Once they're gone, I'm literally relying on the youth system. This is a ridiculous challenge. But that did not stop us in our quest to becoming a big team on the European stage. We instantly knocked out Benfica in the knockout playoff round and then drew Manchester City in the round of 16, and I was very scared straight away. But I didn't need to be. We went 1-0 up early on in this tie and went 2-0 up just moments later as Iñaki Williams fires past Edison to make it 2-0. Now, City did grab a goal back just on the halftime whistle. Gundogan playing the ball out left to Phil Foden. A great run in behind to make it 2-1. But Iñaki Williams grabbed another in this game, a third. And actually, we won the tie 4-2 on aggregate, winning 1-0 away at the Etihad as well. So a real historic tie for Bilbao. We are literally looking at 2 completely contrasting clubs. One that has brought their way to the top in Manchester City with Haaland, Silva, Doku, Mateus Nunes, Foden, Rodri in midfield. And one that is using youth only. That is, you know, the Bilbao Basque only region. It is a real David and Goliath, and this time David has won. But the quarterfinals weren't so easy. In fact, we got absolutely battered by Bayern Munich, and sadly, that was us out of the Champions League. How many seasons would it be until we're back there? Actually, not many, because we finished 5th place this season, just a 6-point drop-off of last year, but Spain, because of their fantastic European qualification and coefficient rankings, have managed to get 5th place, a Champions League spot, which is massively helpful for us in this season, as we are going to be having more Champions League football, which is, again, I kind of say it's good, but we're not going to win the Champions League in Season 1 or Season 2, are we? So, I mean, it's good for keeping our job. Because I suppose it's, do you know what? I would love 10 seasons of Conference League football, winning that competition constantly, being able to use 16-year-olds in it and progressing as them, because I can't use 16-year-olds in the Champions League. It's just not fair. But here we are in this first season. And there's a name here in the goal scorers charts, which I actually have never heard of. Gorka Gurzieta. Now, he often plays in the C and B team. He must have come through the Antingoku must have been a club like in the feeder clubs for Bilbao. He actually played 30 games back in 2023. I have no idea who this guy is. He's just bagged 21 goals though, 2 assists and 3 player of the matches. And he's done very well. Now, he is not someone for the future. He's 28 years of age, 16 finishing, 13 composure and good pace though is decent and will be someone to definitely keep hold of. Now, I'm not going to let him stay in the way in front of some young players we got coming through, but when the likes of like Iñaki Williams are also getting on a little bit in terms of their age, he's 30, we're going to need more than one striker. So they both scored 27 goals, which was great, but clearly the goals dropped off from there. Mikel Vejga from DM, who's 32, scored 9. Unai Gomez scored 8 and got 4 assists. Sanchez 5 and 11 assists, which is great. But in terms of sort of our younger players, we didn't have many that came in and completely played loads of games. Mikel Jargueza played the most with 15 starts, 24 off the bench. But other than that, there wasn't many. Now, luckily for us, there is some really good players straight away coming through the academy. Gorka Arbiola is a 5-star striker. Artiz Martinez, Iker Aguirre, Eduardo Alcade, Iker Caranca, Aymar Jimenez, and Daniel. That's a much easier name for me to pronounce. All coming through the academy, 4.5 and 5-star players. Iker Aguirre from memory looks like a top-tier talent. 14 finishing, 11 composure, and 15 determination is great to see. Hopefully someone that's going to go into that striker role for us. Gorka Arbiola at 15 finishing, 11 composure, great physical stats, but only 10 determination. It'll be interesting to see out of them two who does better and who grows quicker as a starting striker. Igor Oyono played a few games this season, 3 starts in the Spanish Cup, scoring 1 goal. He's okay. He's just not quick enough, I think, is the main issue with him. Only 8 acceleration, and I'm probably going to let him leave, to be honest, and try and get some of them 15 and 16-year-olds to come through and really start playing in this team. No competition won this season, as we also lose in the Spanish Cup 4th round to Lajeunesse. And like I said, I kind of think from here, the challenge is going to just get harder and harder every season until we stumble across a real golden generation. And I'm not sure it's a good thing that we're a Champions League club, because while it's amazing for finances, to start actually on this rebuild, we were on £20 million. Already we're up to 145, and by the end of this, it'll be interesting to see if we become billionaires in Spain. It's still something that we've got to be careful of. We are playing well above our weight. The tactic's good, but we need wonder kids to come through the academy right now. Which is why for season 2, we are going to concentrate on a couple of youngsters, because we might have the superstar captain and centre-back of the future. Iker Caranca is a 17-year-old that just played 38 games, every single one in the league, scoring 2 goals, getting 2 assists, and getting a 6.7 average rating. But most importantly, it's his growth. Straight away, 17 teamwork, 16 tackling, and 17 marking, with 10 passing already as well. So really good on the ball. He's only got 4 determination, and his personality is low determination, which is a bit of a shame, but giving him the game time has really, really helped. I mean, looking up in these stats here, mentally gone up a bunch, marking gone up a bunch, and physically already up to 10 strength after just 1 season playing. So Iker Caranca, we've already had a really good centre-back come through, which is brilliant. Also chose to give some game time to Aymar Jimenez in this rebuild in this season. He scored 1 goal, got 2 assists in 8 games, a 6.71. As a 17-year-old, he's got the best finishing, composure, determination, and pace split out of anyone, so I thought it was worth a go, and he done okay, to be honest. Gorka Arbiola played 1 game, 6 for the bench, got up to 6.98, but didn't score, compared to Iker Aguirre, who I think could be the guy. He scored 4 goals, got 2 assists in 7 starts, 15 finishing, composure, determination, but a little bit slower. I'm a little bit tentative to give him too much game time, but in non-competitive gameplay, 37 goals and 14 assists in 40 games. He scored a goal in the Champions League and got an assist. Scored 3 goals and 3 starts in the Spanish First Division. And despite dropping in potential, I think he could be the guy. We'll just have to see. At the moment, they're all way too far off of it. But it's great to see our youngsters actually grabbing goals. And that was really helpful as well, because despite Iñaki Williams getting 24 goals, Gorka dropped down to 8. And his replacement is Xavi Morton, who is a 2-star striker, who is nowhere near going to be good enough, only grabbed 10. Oyhan Sanchez stepped up massively though, 17 goals and 16 assists. 21 assists come from Andoni Gospel, but he's 29 years of age and probably not going to be able to do that for too much longer. So we are looking for potentially more wing backs to come through. We've still got that Daniel guy knocking about. Where's he? 1 game off the bench. Not amazing. Only 6 crossing, dead pace as well. So possibly more likely to be a centre-back than a wing-back, which is a bit of a disappointment. So we're still looking for one of them. But overall, a very good season once again. We finished in 3rd place in the league. being shown, though, how hard it's going to be to catch Real Madrid and Barcelona. 103 points for Barca, just one loss. We got 72, but third place, a really strong finish. Knocked out in the knockout playoff round of the Champions League by Manchester United, and fourth rounded by Espanyol. But another very decent season. Before finally in season 3, we dropped down into Europa League football. The Champions League was proving an issue for us, knockout playoff round once again. And this season, our consistency dropped off a tiny bit, down into 5th place on 65 points, which is still very, very decent, but no longer in that top 3. Real Betis up to 75, Girona to 65, and us down in 5th place. Iñaki Williams scoring more goals than ever, this time 36 and 4 assists, which is unbelievably brilliant. But again, hard carried by him. Gorka grabbed 10. Aimar Jimenez, who started 50 games, scored 8 and got 5 assists. And yeah, no one else really stepped up on the goal scoring front. Iker only grabbed 1 in 7 games. Gorka only grabbed 1 in 3. And Iker Karenka still playing at centre-back. Not quite as good of a season this year, but now with 76 games under his belt, we're finding out a bit more about him. His pace is going up. And as a 17-year-old to already played 76 games, I'm not surprised he's not shooting up in stats. Possibly being overplayed a little bit. I mean, he's quite literally played every game possible. I don't think he's had a single injury that's kept him out. Literally 2 days, 3 days, and 6 days. So he is very reliable, very not injury prone, which is amazing. Very consistent by the looks of it. And has loads of room to grow, so certainly someone to be excited about. And while there is some other players still coming through the academy, we will be keeping an eye on a select few because we are going to have a lot of 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5-star players come through. I'm not going to touch on every single one every season, but when someone breaks into the first team, I'll make sure to let you guys know. And we are now getting towards danger zone. We have come back-to-back in 5th place, quarter-finaled in the Europa League by Chelsea, knocked out in the Spanish Cup, and only 5 points away from not being in European football. And Iñaki Williams is now 33, Gorka is now 31, and even Oihan Sanchez is 28 as the captain. He's got no more progression left in him. We are getting to the danger zone where we need our youngsters to become star players. Now, Aimar Jimenez, 11 goals, 5 assists is decent, but there is some new names on here starting to contribute. Javi X Libera is a really young right winger who can also play in the cam role, 18 years of age, 17 goal contributions, just below a 7 for him. Gorka Abiola, another 4, and Doni with 3 goals, 3 assists from centre-back / DM. Really good on the ball, a really good ball-playing defensive midfielder. So excited to have him at the club. Daniel playing lots of games at centre-back as well probably shows more of an issue than anything because he should not be playing as many games as he is with them sorts of stats. But he started 31 and Iker Karenka, another 51 games, is still progressing, which is good to see. 19 years of age now, becoming a real mainstay in this team. But once again, you know, we're kind of just going towards the inevitable of our star players retiring. 28, 30, and 28 being your top 3 players isn't a great look. Javi X Libera is kind of a star that we need to keep hold of. And then, yeah, there's not many more that have broke into that real first team opportunities. So this could start to get rough. Now, we finally had a new top goal scorer this season. It's a man that has been on the cusp of it, but finally had a breakout year. It's Aimar Jimenez grabbing 18 goals in the league, 23 overall, and 7 assists with above a 7 average rating. And someone else that has broken onto the scene is Emmanuel Guajardo, a 17-year-old striker / cam that scored 53 goals and got 19 assists in 35 games in non-competitive games. 11 starts for us with 12 goals, 12 off the bench. Looks unbelievable. Not really a goal scorer in terms of finishing, but 16 composure, elite dribbling, elite determination, great mental stats at just 17. This guy could be the star striker to replace Iñaki Williams and partner Aimar Jimenez, or be an electric central attack midfielder for us. So finally, we have stumbled across someone that is a dominator. And we are just about staying afloat. Now, this time we were on the edge of getting Champions League football based on goal difference, which is a real shame. And the thing is as well, we had an absolutely awful end to the season. So we were on track to get the Champions League football this season, but lost like the last 7 games, which is horrendous. We lost in the semi-finals of the Europa League as well to Real Betis, who finished down in 8th place. And they won the Europa League, which is a shame because that probably should have been us, which means we are now in 2029 with 0 trophies to our name. And yeah, we're just spiraling down a little bit. Age-wise, it's not looking good. Even Unai Simon, who this scares me the most, losing him as a 4.5-star player, he's now 31. When we lose him, we could either get sacked or, you know, we're going to have to pray that someone good comes up for the academy. I mean, Julian's a good backup. Have we had anyone else come through in the goalkeeper position that looks semi-usable? I mean, neither of them are anywhere near good enough. And we need them to come through now-ish in the next season or 2. Otherwise, we are going to be completely in the mud. If you guys do enjoy these Youth Only challenges, make sure to let me know in the comments down below as well and smash the like button so I know you guys love the Youth Only here on the channel. There is Moneyball coming back soon in a very special way as well, so make sure if you do like Moneyball to keep your eyes peeled. And of course, just subscribe. It helps me out massively. But things have just taken a massive twist. We are out of European football for the first time in this rebuild. The year is 2030 and Bilbao finished in 8th place. And I have just, and I mean just, kept my job. There's a board alert of takeover in progress, which might have saved me at this point because I was on a C-, and a new board has come in and potentially saved me from getting sacked. Now, we finished in 8th place, of course, Europa League knocked out by Fiorentina and first rounded in the Spanish Cup. And this year was kind of the fall off of the big guys. I mean, Iñaki Williams is retiring this season down to a 2.5-star player. Our top goal scorer was actually Gorka Arbiola. No one can decide who's going to be the starter up front, which is kind of a good thing, but also means that we haven't really got a superstar. Now, this guy looks great. 16 finishing, 40 composure, 16 pace. Could be big for us, but he's injury prone and inconsistent. So that's not great. Emmanuel Guerrero, another fantastic season, going up extra mentally in stats. So really excited for him. He could be a superstar. Javi Extabera doing bits, 10 goals, 7 assists. Oihan Sanchez still doing bits. Artiz Alonso looks like a good player coming through as well. 18 years of age, a very quick winger. Now, of course, we don't play with wingers, but we can use that pace up front. Ike Aguirre, 3 goals in 2 games, which is fairly rubbish, isn't it? So nothing much coming from him, sadly. And the way of potential, there is a lot here in the club, though. And we are starting to get there. Of course, no goalkeeper coming through yet, which is a bit of a shame. But it's the start of a really new era. The Iñaki brothers are gone. Alex Berenguer is gone. And we are down to one of our oldest players now being Unai Simon and Oihan Sanchez, who are getting consistent game time. So we are in a new era. We are about to rebuild. Well, we are rebuilding this club, but we are about to really start to notice that in this tactic, if I pick this by best 11, I imagine there's not a lot of real life players available anymore. Arbiola, Guerrero, Extabera, Sanchez is the front 4. Mortina and Jarangiza are the 2 DMs. It is a back line other than Vivian that is full of regens, with Gospiao actually at right back as well. But Gomez and Ramos as the 2 defenders, with Simon in goal. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 real players, 6 regens, and it's only 2030. Yeah, it's getting a little bit crazy at this point, but there's a lot of potential with this side. We just need to keep our job because this is the real big scare now. It'll be interesting to see with no European football if youngsters progress better or worse based on having less games to play in, but also maybe not needing to spend weeks and weeks playing games. They can actually have time on the training ground, which should make a big difference. The staff here at Bilbao is top tier. We have the best staff out of anyone, and recruitment as well for absolutely no reason, which is very random that we have the best. But staff-wise, yeah, we're absolutely cooking, which is great to see. And I'm going to quick fire for you this season because it was an absolute stinker. We finished down in 9th place and our top goal scorer was Emmanuel Guerrero. But that was some important context because it means that Emmanuel has become an absolute superstar. And we can see that based on this season who played 38 games, scored 27 goals in the league and got 4 assists. He is worth £80 million. He's got elite determination, to be fair, elite mental stats, a great dribbler on the ball, and is now a leading first division player. Now, he is wanted by a lot of big clubs, including teams in Spain, Germany and England. But if we're to do anything in this rebuild, it is going to be down to Emmanuel Guijarro, who over the last few seasons has progressed into our talisman. And the guy next to him has been the bagsman that is Gorka Arbiola. He is now our vice captain as well. He is more the finisher of the two. 16 finishing, 14 composure, decent speed, 15 goals and 12 assists in just 35 games with a 7.19 average rating. And club captain Oihan Sanchez is starting to decrease. After 374 games at Athletic Bilbao, he has gone down from a leading player to a good player and is now just a 4-star, which means that some young players are getting to a really good level, but also, again, the start of a new journey. But thankfully, this season, we are back in Champions League football. We have managed to stay in our job throughout 3 seasons of not getting in Europe and get back onto 75 points, which is matching up with our best points tally yet. We are already in the season 2032, so there is a lot of names up here you won't recognise, like Alexandre Jose, a ridiculous Brazilian striker who just scored 35 goals in 27 games, who's at Barcelona and was somehow at some point going to have to attempt to overtake. Noah Davic is one of the best players in the league at this point with a 7.49 average rating. They've got Lamine Yamal and Jeremy Doku on the wings. It's just not fair. Less still by Hansi Flick as well. In terms of Real Madrid, they are led by Conte now, playing in a 4-3-3 system with Wharton, Valverde, Mansverk. 2 regens in the team overall. Compared to us, which we picked this by a best 11, we now have 4 non-regens, 7 regens. We are doing it the Athletic Bilbao way, and the youngsters starting to come through. We'll have a quick touch on the team. So in goal is Unai Simon. Left back is Inigo Ramos, who is a very quick, good determination left back with okay crossing. And on the right-hand side is Cortina. Very, very similar, but a little bit worse. Vivian and Gomez are our 2 starting centre-backs with Jarguza and Casado in the DM roles. Sanchez, Extabera, Guijarro and Arbiola make up the rest of the team. And this is the team going back into the Champions League. I find it absolutely mental when you actually deep it, that little bit of form there, them 2 seasons where we weren't in Europe, was some of the worst form Athletic Bilbao have had from 2011 really onwards. And they had a pretty poor season 2018, but other than that, have been a pretty consistent European side and have won 8 Spanish First Divisions, 25 Spanish Cups, and they're a team only built from the Basque region, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I imagine they used to be a very dominant side back in the day. They certainly did. I mean, going all the way back to the early 1900s, they were winning lots and lots, but obviously has slowed down as money has become more important in football. But it does make you think if football should be played in this way. You know, if Manchester United should be only Manchester-born players, if Chelsea should be only players born in the borough of Chelsea. I'm not sure if that's a borough or what, but like London only should be London players, and they should all be fighting for only London players. Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham. There's a big enough region, they could certainly do it. You know, Birmingham was Birmingham only, Villa was Birmingham only as well. It would be amazing. And I think a team like Bilbao, it's a real credit to them for being still in the top flight of football in such a small region and consistently battling on a European stage. Getting to the Europa League against Manchester United this season was huge. I mean, fair play to them. Obviously, eventually lost out in the semi-finals. And also have an insane stadium. The San Mamés is incredible. And the fact they can uphold all of that financially, you know, look at Barcelona and Manchester United and millions and billions of pounds worth of debt. You got a club here like Bilbao using youth only, using, you know, Basque only players. And we've managed to build up a stupid amount of money doing this as well. It's just pretty incredible. So fair play to Athletic Bilbao. But sadly, that return to European football was very short-lived, as we finished down in 8th place and instantly knocked out of the Champions League in the run of 16 to RB Leipzig. So, yeah, we're not quite there yet, people. We are not quite there yet. The regeneration of Bilbao, we've got some top-tier players, but there is a much-needed better squad to be consistently finishing top 6 and getting Champions League football. But it's good to see that we are sort of, you know, the age of the squad now is very different to how it was at the start. 90% of it is under 23 and a few older players. Unai Simon's now 35. Oh, God. This could be the end. He's got 1 season left on his deal. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised to see if this was the end of Unai Simon after 462 games, which would be very, very sad because goalkeepers-wise, I don't think there's anyone really come through as there. Adolfo Iriarte is a 6'3", decent goalkeeper. Oh, God, that could be our guy. Yeah. We need to survive this next couple of years. Once we've survived, though, the next 2 years of Sanchez and Unai Simon going, I think then it should massively uphill because we are just using only our youth players that we've got through the academy and have all had loads of game time, and we're going to get more and more and more and more come through as well. So I am confident that once Simon and Sanchez go, if we survive that, or when we survive that, we'll be absolutely fine. So let's stop the panic. No, I was right. This is the last season of Unai Simon. He is now retiring at the age of 36, which is a bit rude because I would love to keep him for a couple more seasons. Because despite having 2 strikers bag over 20 goals, we once again finished outside of European places, down in 8th place on 63 points. We have the top goal scorer in Emmanuel Guijarro. I wouldn't be surprised if he's asking to leave soon. He is the Spanish number 9. He is bagging goals for them. He's bagging goals for us. He's wanted by everyone. He's fantastic. He's world-class talent, elite striker, and we're not even getting him European football. Oh, right. This is now a risk because we've got top-tier talent coming through, and we now have to try and struggle to stay with him because we're not getting European football. So we need to improve the squad. And as you know, the only way of doing that is bringing through youngsters. We have had another striker come through, Andoni Ixtape. It's good to see the striker market is doing really well for us. He scored 21 goals this season and has taken that starting striker role really well. Oihan Sanchez, probably a year or 2 left. I mean, his contract runs out next year, so again, could be a case of him leaving soon. Potential-wise, though, not many other 5 stars in there. If we check out the under-19s, I probably need to bring some players up fairly soon because there's a couple of really good players in here who could be the next big thing. So we'll have to see. I will say this is getting a little bit painful. We are in the year 2035. We haven't won a single trophy and we're not in European football again. The Bilbao rebuild is hard. But we've managed to not get sacked still, which is crazy. I mean, yeah. This is hard. Emmanuel is wanted still. His contract runs out next season. I bet he won't even renew with us, will he? Which is a shame. We'll have to see. We've got no European football to tempt him with. So unless we're like top of the league at some point in the season, he will stay. But yeah, he could be off. Andoni, luckily for us, is really good. He grabbed 28 and 10 assists this season, listed as a wonder kid. So we do have a replacement for him. But the system we play is a 2-striker. We kind of need 2 superstars up front. Gorka Arbiola is also really good, 11 goals and 18 assists. And Oihan Sanchez isn't retiring, but contract is expiring next season now. So we've got him for another year. He has fallen off the cliff pace-wise, sadly. More of a creative cam. Only got 2 caps for Spain overall, which is a little bit crazy compared to Imanol, who's got 21 at 23 years of age. Goalkeeper-wise this season, the goalkeeper was Julian Agiribala, Arifabalaga, but Agiribazalala. That is such a difficult... Agirizabala? I have no idea. If you're from the Basque region, I'm really sorry about the pronunciation. People love the pronunciation in the comments. It makes them laugh, which is really funny. I wish I was better at it. I really do. But them sorts of names do not come off my tongue very well at all. This is the last goal we will ever see of Emmanuel Guijarro. Sadly for us, the 24-year-old has decided that Bilbao not being in Champions League football on a regular enough basis is enough for him to not renew his contract and go and join RB Leipzig. Now, this guy is an elite striker. We have had an absolute gem come through the academy, but sadly for us, he's off out the door. This season, he was outscored by our new wonder kid, Andoni Ixtape, who is starting to become a real established player in this side. Back-to-back seasons now, with over 20 goals, which is brilliant. And he will be our new number 9 and our real superstar. He's wanted by Napoli. Absolutely no way is he going anywhere, though. We have just got to live without Emmanuel Guijarro. But the good thing is, he got us back into Europe. This season, we were 4 points better off, up to 67, and managed to finish in Champions League football, which is really good because it means that we can give loads of contracts to a bunch of our players that were previously leaving, which are no longer leaving, which is huge for us because, yeah, without Champions League football, we can't keep these stars around, as we've seen from Emmanuel leaving. So we're going to have to go back into the academy, find another number 9 to partner up with Ixtabe and hopefully stay as one of the best teams in Spain now. Now, we have a very decent young striker which comes up into the first team and scores 11 goals in 24 games in the league, called Iker Villanueva. And I'm very grateful he's here because he's had a pretty decent season as our second string striker. And the great news is we have a brand new vice captain locked down to 2041 in Andoni Ixtabe, who is just here to be a Bilbao legend. He's not looking to leave and join a city club like Leipzig, like Emmanuel. He's here to be a legend. And based on his little bit of a sad face, he probably won't be on the cover star because he's not happy enough. But we've got an absolute superstar on our hands. And he's got 30 goals and got 8 assists this season, which is brilliant. And led us to a top goal scorers chart and our best points tally yet on 82 points. Just 8 points away from the title. Now, obviously, we've not won it, but that's pretty damn good. Only 4 draws all season. If we just turn some of them losses into wins, which, I mean, is a lot easier said than done, but there's some silly losses there. I mean, Cadiz, Espanyol, Vigo, Girona, we should be better than all of them. And sadly, we just weren't on this season on the day. But 26 wins is fantastic. Beating Real Madrid and Barcelona this season was a highlight for us. And of course, Andoni being top goal scorer is brilliant. We've scored the most goals in the league as well and only conceded 40 in 5th place. And it does look like there is a lot of new talent coming up, which is fantastic. Our best rated player this season that played a bunch of games was Ixtabe. Gorka Arbiola was 2nd place, 15 goals, 18 assists from the cam role, a real demon in that cam role as well. Xavi Ixtabera, 18 and 11, which is brilliant. Inigo Dez is a right wing back that we've wanted for quite some time. He done really well, 14 assists from there. Villanueva, of course, with 22 assists from Inigo Ramos. Despite not having amazing crossing, having that good pace and told to get forward, he's done really well in that role for us as well. Obviously, back-to-back seasons in the Champions League now is great. This season, knocked out in the knockout playoff round by PSG, sadly. But, you know, PSG a very, very good side. And Spanish Cup, we still haven't won. We are in 2037. We haven't won a single trophy. But I do feel like we're getting very close to just completing it all because we've got some superstars now that are staying with a lot more 5 stars and some goal scorers that are locked in to stay at the team. And this season is just proof of our new up-and-coming talent because Joseba Caicedo has come out of the woodwork with 21 goals and 12 assists, 30 starts for him. And this season, again, we managed to finish in the top 4 in Spain, finishing in 3rd place, 71 points. Real Madrid sadly running away with it, but Endrick's getting on a bit, now at 31. We could be close. I mean, Andoni's only 23, and he's a legend, scoring 27 goals and getting 14 assists. Again, sadly, knockout playoff rounded in the Champions League and quarter-finaled by Girona in the Spanish Cup. But we're getting there. We're consistent in the Champions League now. That's what, like 3-4 seasons in a row? If we check out the Bilbao history, we've got, 3 seasons in a row. 4th, and then 3rd. We have taken a massive sort of climb from 8th, 9th, 4th, 3rd. We're on the right path. At any point now, we're probably going to end up completing it. Now, this is the season that I have been talking about. Having strikers come up for the academy, score a bunch of goals, and us become a dominating team. We might finally be there. Iker Villanueva, 35 goals and 4 assists. And Andoni Ixtabe, 33 goals and 7 assists, making it both strikers scoring more than 30. That is ridiculous. And in a 4-2-2 system, that's a pretty good sign. And there's someone else that I want to touch on as well, as we have quite literally got Mr. Bilbao playing for Bilbao from the Basque region. Enyeko Bilbao was a defensive midfielder, played 49 games this season, 4 goals and 3 assists, and is hailed as Mr. Bilbao. What an absolute legend. I mean, fantastic with an academy player come through who's a leading first division player who's actually called Bilbao. Now, our form in the season was very weird in the league. We would win a lot of games, especially at home. But away from home against big teams, it weren't great. We could win 3-0 against Barcelona at the San Mamés, but then lose 6-0 to Atletico Madrid, then go on ridiculous winning streaks throughout the rest of the months of September, October and November, but travel to Madrid once again to face Real and lose that one 5-0. So I just think the Bilbao boys don't really like travelling to Madrid. But lucky enough for us, in the penultimate game of the season, Real Madrid had to come to our house to see if they could stop us from winning the league. We were 2 points clear at this point, and we grabbed the early goal. But Real Madrid would grab one back through Bamba to make it 1-1. But on the final day of the season, we had to beat Deportivo to win the title. Gorka Arbiola scored a screamer in 9 minutes, and we grabbed a second and final in this game as the ball was played out to Ochoa on the left wing, finds it inside, Garrido beats his man and batters it in to the top corner, which made Athletic Bilbao finally, in the year 2039, Spanish First Division winners on 89 points, a 45 goal difference, 28 wins, 5 draws, 5 losses. It's not the 100 points we've seen in this rebuild. It's not even 90 points, but it's enough. And we've finally become the best team in Spain. We scored the joint most amount of goals, conceded only 38, kept 59% possession as well, but the most important stat, most points per game. In terms of our data hub, we played some simply beautiful football. And in terms of the goals, yes, we were absolutely carried by 2 superstar strikers. But that doesn't mean that our best players were just them. Inigo Diaz was our other defensive midfielder alongside Mr. Bilbao, who grabbed a 7.18. Inigo Ramos from left back, 12 assists, was absolutely solid as well. And of course, Javi Ex-Libera grabbed 21 goal contributions from the cam position. So all that was needed now was to win the Champions League. So let's fly forward until we do that. Or could we do that this season as well, as we actually end up scraping past Lyon in the round of 16, 4-3 on aggregate, thanks to an Artith Alonso hat-trick. In the quarterfinals was Liverpool, and that was the goal that gave us a 1-goal deficit in this game. But Bilbao knew when never to give up. In the 92nd minute, Arbiola ran to the line, whipped it in, and it was poked home by Villanueva. And in the 95th minute, keeping things within 90, we grab a second goal and we beat Liverpool in the quarterfinals thanks to that absolute screamer from Santi Sebastian to take Bilbao to the semi-finals of the Champions League, where we faced up against RB Leipzig and Emmanuel Guijarro, and they beat us 4-2 in the first leg. But in the second leg, we were gifted an early lead and a slight glimmer of hope. And that's the one thing you don't do to Bilbao, because when you've got a team built only of youth players and a man actually called Bilbao in your team, well, you're always going to come back, aren't you? That goal from Ramos got us onto level term. And then Garitano found a ball out wide to Edskabay, who whipped a ball into the box for Arbiola to score to make it 5-4 on aggregate in a simply historic match, sending Bilbao to, I believe, their first ever Champions League final. And the best thing about it all is Emmanuel Guijarro has been having a very mid-career here at RB Leipzig, scoring 21 goals in 15 games as a rotational striker. Well, guess what, mate? Your hometown club are in a Champions League final. And I would have struggled to have written a better final if I tried. Garitano got us 1-0 up against Chelsea for them just to score through Evan Ferguson in just 14 minutes. The game was 1-1. In the 19th minute though, Casado, a ball out wide. Diaz, this time playing at right back, bursts on the line, whips it in, and Villanueva fires home for 2-1 and to grab a 2-goal lead. That's another mistake. Chelsea, what are you doing? Trying to play out there on the back. We're there. Villanueva puts it past Goris in goal, and we were 3-1 up. But Chelsea seems to have the same thing we have, that never die attitude, that never give up attitude. And Williams whips it in, a header at the back stick from Rogge, makes it 3-2, 61 minutes on the clock. The next goal was going to be massive, and it was in the 83rd minute when Ramos played Extabe down the left-hand side for him to find Villanueva in the box for 4-2. But why not go out there and grab a fifth, make it look dominating, make it look historic, and that's what we've done. A final goal from Santi Sebastian, a 5-2 victory over Chelsea and Athletic Bilbao. We're not only winners of Spain for the first time, we're winners of Europe, and everything this season came together, and we were finally the best club in the world. It's the first time in Bilbao's history they have won a European Champions League, and we have done that here. Our best player now is 20-year-old Mikel Garitano at centre-back. We saw him loads of times there. getting the ball in the back and driving, and he's been so fun for doing that. Iñaki Bilbao in DM, Andoni Estabe as the striker, the 3 best players. If you guys do want to pick up this save on the Patreon and play with Bilbao with £750 million in the bank and in the year 2039, well, the link to that is just down in the description. It helps support me massively. If you do check out the Patreon, I'm really appreciate it. It's £3 to grab this file, £5 a month overall. And trust me, you'll have some great fun over there. We give every single tactic and reward file up there for £5 a month, and it helps me on going on my dream of becoming a full-time content creator. That has been the Bilbao rebuild. That has been your Bilbao team. This has been your insane tactic, which will also be on the Patreon. And that has been the video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Make sure to smash the like button, and I'll speak to you guys next time.